Hey everybody, welcome to Chanel's Reality. I'm Chanel and this is my reality. I wanted to come on here tonight and talk to you guys a little bit about Jayz. He seems to be the man of the hour. And what his ex-bestie / business partner, Dame Dash, has to say about Jay-Z's conversation. Well, I was going to say conversation, but really more lack thereof. But I will say this, Jay-Z has said a few things via his attorney and on his Instagram, I feel like, or Rock Nation. I think he said it via Rock Nation type scenarios. But let's just jump right into what Dame Dash has to say. Remember, everything on Chanel's Reality is in my opinion. It is for entertainment purposes only. And it is all for... it's all alleged. Everything on this is alleged, but this isn't Dame Dash's opinion. So I'm gonna go over to his video and let you guys listen up to what he has to say about what he, I guess, thinks Jay-Z should or shouldn't be doing. So give me 1 second. Let me pull that up. Hit that like button. Like, share, and subscribe. It is, and then hit the notification button too, so you'll know when I'm going to go live or when I upload a video or anything like that. It's a free and easy way to support my channel. So here we go.
Collab I did with Afroletics. So if you haven't already, press the subscribe button for American New Networks, and also download American New Network app, our television network. And also we distribute fast channels, so we distribute other television networks as well. What's happening?
What's good, Dame? So what's your take on the press conference and everything that's going on still with Jay?
I was gonna get right into that, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
Into it, Jay. Or Dame.
So, I saw that they did a little press conference. And again, it's new, so and it's in the algorithm. It's every day, all day. So it's hard not to pay any attention to it, which is, a point that I want to make in a second. But, again, I've been accused several times and been vindicated each and every time of SA. And I've been through the process. Again, I'll give a very short statement, then I do an interview. And because, again, I really personally don't feel that I know I'm not going to lie. I know I'm not going to not tell the truth. If I forget something, I forget. That's not intentional. But I know that for me, I just think in this day and age, it's better to talk directly to the people that care. To have an opinion. It's like, I will come out, I'll say what I got to say, and I will give you the opportunity to ask me questions. And that's always been the difference between me and most people, is that I like to confront the elephant in the room. I don't like to act like things are okay when they're not okay. And I'm so into, for me, being truthful, whether it's uncomfortable or not. I still like to deal with whatever issues in front of me, pause. And the problem with me is just things don't embarrass me.
So listen, I'm just going to say this. How about I didn't know that Dame Dash had several sexual assault? I guess people accusing him of sexual assault. I didn't know that. I thought that was interesting that he shared that. And he said he beat all the cases. Now, let me be very clear. Just because you didn't get convicted of sexual assault does not mean you didn't commit sexual assault. It just means you didn't get convicted of it. Just because you weren't arrested or accused of sexual assault definitely does not mean that you didn't sexually assault anyone, right? Jeffrey Epstein was on the lam how many years? Probably his whole life. Being a sexual deviant. And he didn't get caught until that man was, I feel like, at least in his 50s. He had already been, caught, so to speak, but no real charges were ever brought against him until the end. That's when the charges really were like, we're not going to let you out of jail. Kind of like what's going on with Diddy right now. No, we're not letting you out. And then, you know, the rest is history. His soul, I don't know if he took it or if somebody else took it, whatever, you know, the streets say other things. The streets say they don't add up, but I'm not a street person, so I don't know. But I did find it very interesting that Dame Dash just said that about himself. I never heard that. So I think it's interesting that he's speaking up because, you know, I'm a person that's been saying on this YouTube channel forever, why the hell is Hollywood? Why are they all on mute? Why is the sports people on mute? Why are the film people on mute? Why are the TV, everybody in media that have a voice that would matter just ain't saying shit? And I don't understand that. How is it that it's, but you know what? I do understand it because what I don't understand is how you keep everybody quiet. That's the part that I don't really understand. But people being quiet, I do understand because I think that people don't want to touch it. Diddy's radioactive. So it's like, he's radioactive right now. I'm not going to get anywhere near him. Nope. Let's scrub the internet of all my videos with him. Anytime I laughed with him, I had a photo with him, all of that. And I think Jay-Z is scared of that happening to him. And I think more than Jay-Z being scared, I think Beyonce is scared. She like, take you and all your radioactiveness over there. Don't bring it to the Lion King messing up my daughter's situation. If I was Jay-Z. I mean, if I was Beyonce, that's how I would feel. Unless I truly didn't believe my husband was guilty. And maybe she doesn't. Maybe she doesn't feel he's guilty of anything. And I'll say this. I don't know that Jay-Z is innocent or guilty of this particular thing he's being accused of, but I certainly don't think he's innocent. I think he's definitely done some things that makes you say pause, as Dame Dash would say. Yeah, it definitely. You have arrests that have to do with violent crime. Not I got arrested because I was stealing out the store. Not I got arrested because I was selling a little Zaza on the side. No. I was arrested of physically assaulting people with, like, I can only say certain things on YouTube, but we'll just say pew pews, pow pows, and things that are very sharp. These are the types of things Jay-Z, Mr. Mogul, has been arrested for. So when someone says, oh, well, maybe he didn't do this, it's possible. It's always possible. But if you are guilty of all these other things, or at least have been charged or arrested for these other things, it's easy for me to believe the rest of it. That's why they say birds of a feather flock together. The term comes from, if you are constantly around people that are like this and have this type of behavior, then you might also have that type of behavior. Now, sometimes you just married to people like that, or that's probably Beyonce's case, or maybe you grew up with people like that, or maybe they just in your family and you don't have no choice, you know? But the thing that makes it believable is, one, you have a criminal history already, and then two, you have a history of being with younger girls. It just is what it is. So, and being around people and associated with people who have a history of being with younger girls, R. Kelly, Robert Kelly, y'all made a whole record together. So it's hard for me to believe. Well, let me say it like this. It's easy for me to believe that these allegations have some truth to them, or that maybe this one isn't true, but some of it is true. Somewhere, something is true. So that's my opinion. But anyway, let's finish listening to what Dame Dash has to say about what he thinks Jay-Z should do or say.
So I don't mind discussing things that make most people uncomfortable, but I do have that discussion and I give people the opportunity to ask me questions. But what I didn't do, I'm not throwing a press conference. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, that was a lot to me. And like, for me, this is coming from people that usually don't do so much, you know? And what it looked like to me was somewhat of like a public trial. Like, that was almost them presenting their case to whatever jury gets picked, you know? And what it was a response to was, you know, I guess the Tony Busby lawyer, and I hope I said his name right, I guess made a choice to put the alleged victim and to do an interview. And, you know, what I heard was that there were some things that were wrong that she knows that she might have gotten mixed up. And I'm like, why would he put her, knowing she's going to say that? Like, because they don't have to do that. She didn't have to do an interview. So I'm like, why would they have her do that? And then I also heard her say she was autistic. So I'm like, okay. So, and again, what you have to realize, especially when you're dealing with really active lawyers, that going to court is just a game of chess. It's all chess. And, you know, if you ask my girl, she'd be like, sometimes it bugs her out that I actually enjoy going to court because of how strategic. Like you have to, like, you know, like with every action, you know, there's a reaction. So I can't imagine that they didn't think that this girl coming out and saying the things that were inaccurate or problematic, saying them not knowing that they were going to react a certain way because it was on purpose. So I'm like, wow, they playing. And if you remember last week, I was like, these are two lawyers that, you know, seem to have some strong personalities. So they're going to be banging it out. But the difference here, right, is, and I've been against, like, I've gone directly at the lawyer. Because like a lot of the, like, for example, like the lawyers that represent, because one lawyer represents both of my baby mothers, Rachel and Cindy. And to me, that's a conflict. And that's how I would get jammed up, because they would be playing. So I would get at the lawyer because I was like, you know, you're taking advantage of these women. And, you know, for you to get paid, you're making like a divide amongst my family just so you could get paid, and you know it's not right. And to this day, I've never been able to get in front of like a judge and be like, yo, this is all right that this dude Donnell represents both my baby mothers and also, you know, allegedly was giving advice, business advice on how, like telling Rachel not to pay the child support. And, you know, that's another thing. I'm getting off the subject a little, but it gets back on me. Y'all got to stop saying I didn't pay my child support. That's not what happened. What happened was I gave Rachel the power to pay my child support when the money came into the company, Rachel Roy. She did not pay my child support. And I was still found accountable for that. So I didn't know the child support wasn't getting paid because, again, I did it and set it up in court where when the money would come in from Rachel Roy, which is a $100 million company that no one speaks about, that money would first go to both of my baby mothers, their child support, and whatever judgment I had, and then I would get what was left. And that, from what I saw, that lawyer Donnell advised her not to pay it. And from that, they said I didn't pay my my child support, and it went all downhill from there. I didn't even know, but that's another story. But that was why I went at that lawyer. Like I would go at him. And then, you know, again, I literally went through 4 trials in the last couple of years. 4 trials, full trials, for people accusing me of lies, like straight lies. And then, like, to me, alleged conspiracies, like one lawyer and this other dude, it allegedly, to me, seems like he called a bunch of people, and I feel like they still do that, and say, if you have a problem with Dame, we will fund your lawsuit. And then also we might need you to be on this lawsuit to be a witness or, you know, someone to testify, because that's what happened with me, allegedly. Again, I don't want to get sued. I don't want to hear it because I'm sick of going to court. I have another lawsuit, by the way, for $4 million right now with these same people that didn't get any money for this reasonable doubt auction for an interview I did with Earn Your Leisure where I didn't say their name. But, you know, we'll deal with that one in court. No one says anything. But my point is, in that situation, I was definitely, like, I know you might have saw that deposition where I was getting at this dude, Chris Brown. And you know, I was called, and I was mad because, you know, it's a long story, but the bottom line is the lawsuit was made in, whatever I did, the movie was shot in LA, but they did the lawsuit in New York. I couldn't get the witnesses to New York, and the deposition, they scheduled everything in New York, and I had a warrant because of the child support. So I couldn't come in to do the depositions. But if I didn't come in to do the depositions, then the case would have got dismissed, or I would have got a default. And he knew that. So when I came in, I already paid the child support, but it was in 2 courts. So when I came in, allegedly, it seemed like he called one of them to tell the one court that I was in another court so I would get arrested. He didn't think I would have the money to pay the child support, but I did. So I ended up in the deposition the very next day with the same person that in my mind had called the police to get me arrested because he thought that I didn't have the money. He like really, really, truly tried to get me arrested. So I had disgust and contempt for this person. And again, and then mysteriously, this deposition ends up on TMZ. And he is the only one that had access to the deposition. And that kind of got the judge tight and blah, blah, blah. But that was my resentment toward that person. But what happens when you get mad and you start messing with a lawyer? Okay, so every time the other dude, what's his name, the lawyer for Jay, speaks for Jay, Jay got to pay that guy. But when you mess with a lawyer, now he's doing it on his own. It's like, you know, how you might, if you had to pay a rapper every time you had to respond to something, but then you're going up against the rapper that just writes very well, he has to pay nobody. He's just going to get on your head the whole day. So it's going to definitely be very costly to keep going back and forth. So sometimes, to me, it's not the best to get directly at the lawyer because he does this for a living. He can hit you with a lawsuit all day long, every day, all day. He's not charging himself by the hour. And he's probably looking at how much bread he could make potentially. So anyway, when I saw the press conference, it was like doing to me court for public opinion. And I'm like, for me, I'm like, so I'm wondering why this dude did that, but then I'm saying he must have did it for a reaction. He had to, or, you know, or something. There had to be something strategic there. You know, I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm not saying I think homie did it or not. I'm just looking at the chess moves. And that's all I've been interested in, is like with the bigger picture, like what's really going on here? Because they're making a big deal over one case that could just play itself out in court. Like there is got to be a bigger picture because they're going so hard. So again, I'm shocked because I don't see homeboy ever respond so much. I don't see him explain himself. I don't ever see him do this. Ever. Not even in the form of having his lawyer do this, because he himself doesn't speak. So I'm like, all right, there is a response. And then within, you know, the press conference, he said that him and Puff wasn't friends. And I was like, now that might have been a big mistake. We just, whether they're friends or not, you know, Puff is always portrayed that they are, and the pictures make it look like they are.
Yo, this is why I like Dame Dash. You know, I said before, I didn't like Dame initially when he was going in on that fraud guy, DJ Slimby or Envy or whatever his name is. I was like, wow, he got a boss. And so since he got a boss, he ain't a real man. And woo, I was like, oh, that was my first time ever knowing anything about Dame Dash, really, and witnessing him. So I was like, damn, he's so fucking arrogant. He's a narcissist. But then after you understand how he's kind of like what he's been through and how he's tried to navigate as much as he possibly can, the Jay-Z drama of it all, meaning before the saga of what's going on now with Jay-Z, but the saga of how Jay-Z allegedly has done some, you know, shady, underhanded, not so great things business-wise, intentionally, on purpose, but on accident, on purpose. Kind of like, you know, you let your friend get shot, but you knew that your friend was going to get shot, so you just move out the way. You know this is going on. That's how I feel. I feel like Dame Dash has felt this way about this man. And now that he has his own little platform here, New America, whatever he called it, I know when he first started, when Jaguar Wright went on that Piers Morgan show, and he saw that, oh my God, all my streaming went up. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna get on here and I'm gonna sit on this couch. And as much as I hate talking about Jayz, because they gonna say I'm a hater, he's like, no, it's all about my money. And so I think Dame Dash is gonna keep doing this. He gonna milk this cow, which is what he basically saying the attorney is doing. And he bringing up a good point about, so you out here, you suing this other man and you saying things publicly about this man. So now the attorney is going to play that game, meaning the Busby attorney, the guy, the attorney for the alleged victims. He's going to play that game. And Busby is, listen, I can't say Busby winning because they out here talking about Busby, the victim's attorney. They out here saying that that man had a STD. This is what is being alleged. It's all alleged. I don't know none of these people, and I wasn't there. But allegedly, he's been accused of by his, I guess, ex-partner. He allegedly had, sex with this lady, and then she went and she found out she had an STD, and then called him and was like, "Yo, what's up?" And he kind of was like, "I'll give you free legal advice or something." I don't know. I'm just like, oh my God. So this is the type of stuff that allegedly Jay-Z's team is like doing to kind of like try to ruin this Busby guy's reputation. But my thing is this, I don't think Busby, he didn't get where he is being an angel. You listen, to get to the top, and I'm not saying he's at the top, but to get there, to breathe that type of air, you have stepped on a few people. It just is what it is. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. You've stepped on a few people. You have to be willing to compromise your integrity on some level to get to the top. It's not easy to get there. That's why everybody don't make it. But anyways, so people are out here saying that Busby, I don't know, did they say he doesn't have a good sex organ? I can't remember if they said that or not. That might be wrong. I could be wrong about that. But they've said a few things that are very compromising. I think they have a picture now or video of him like driving drunk or under the influence of something. I don't know if it's a mugshot. I can't remember exactly. But it's things that are damaging to one's character. This is the problem, though. This man is a whole attorney. So that means you typically have to be a law-abiding citizen. That doesn't mean you have to be perfect. Remember, I said you got to do some compromising things typically if you're going to get to the top in any industry. It doesn't matter where you are. You're going to probably do something to compromise your integrity. But the thing is, the Busby guy is saying that Jay-Z, Rock Nation, his team, they're sending people to go and basically, you know how they were saying we're not letting Diddy out of jail because of witness tampering and all that kind of stuff. That's basically what Busby is allegedly accusing Jay-Z, Rock Nation, and his team of lawyers of doing. Basically sending people to go and find people who were Busby's clients and were dissatisfied with his whatever it was. And so that they could try to sue him, which is illegal. They can't do that. They're not supposed to do that. And this is the thing. I'm like, y'all don't see that these people are not dumb. They play. Listen, Busby understands the animals at this type of zoo. He's one of them. So he not gonna play fair, just like y'all not gonna play fair. And so Busby's like, y'all don't realize, but I don't think Busby's even saying, this is what I'm saying on Chanel's reality. I'm like, y'all don't realize that everybody has a camera phone? Everybody's going to be filming you, regardless of not if you know you being filmed or not being filmed. So people that you guys are sending out there to try to intimidate people or falsify information or get them to incriminate themselves or say that something happened that didn't, these people are going to tell somebody. They're going to tell their wife, their girlfriend, their children, somebody. And then guess what? Those people are going to tell somebody. And then somebody's going to come snooping around. I think the problem is the FBI, if they haven't, they're going to start snooping around with Jay-Z. Just my opinion. I think they are going to. And I think he's trying to do everything he can to stop the storm that's coming. But I think the storm it's like he's on an avalanche that's snowballing. And I don't know if he's going to get out of it. What y'all think about him coming to Beyonce's daughters? I say Beyonce's daughters, but what do y'all think about him coming to Blue Ivy's premiere? I'm like, that's his daughter. Let that lady listen. That's his daughter. Of course he's going to come. But then a lot of people are like, well, he got a whole bunch of other kids too. He don't take care. That's all alleged, like I said here on Chanel's Reality. But it's interesting to me in this Dame Dash interview because Dame Dash is basically like, I ain't have a press conference, but I certainly have been I certainly have been accused of SAing people, sexually assaulting people. But I ain't have a press conference about it. But I want to say something about it. And I think what Dame is trying to say is it doesn't really make sense for you to sit over there in silence. But see, this is the thing with Jay-Z. He's pretending that he's sitting silently, but he's not using his Miranda rights. He did not use his Miranda rights when he went on to his Instagram or Rock Nation's Instagram and made all of that big statement about Busby saying he's not a man of honor or valor and this, that, and the third. And again, if I'm Busby, thank you, Jay-Z. Thank you for saying these idiotic things because I'm going to use all of it against you. I'm going to say, how can you say that I'm not a man of honor? Says the man that allegedly stabbed another man in the club. Says the man that says he shot his own brother for crack or whatever the reason was. Again, I wasn't there. I don't know none of these people. I wasn't there, so I don't know. But it's just like, oh my God, you supposed to be so woke. Take your woke self back to sleep. I cannot. Like, sir, you are ruining your case. And now the other attorney, so Jay-Z's attorney is pissed too, because they listen, they all got their dicks out on the table. They having a dick measuring contest right now. They just having a contest. And it's just like, I just want y'all to shut the hell up. Because I'm not even an attorney and I know better. But you know what I think? I think it's ego. Ego is not your amigo. Ego and sexual deviancy is exactly why the other Sean, what's the other Sean's name? Shitty Diddy Combs. That's why he's sitting over there in the jail cell. Ego. He got away with whatever he got away with doing for so many years to so many people, robbing them blind, his artists and everybody else, unaliving people allegedly, beating the brakes off his women, and doing all kind of reckless, savage, deviant shit, all kinds of deviant behavior. Right? Now, his ego, this is how you, okay. You've been charged with all of these things, and you still running around New York City with your pink Zaza, I'll say it like that, in the hotel, acting like everything is great. That's ego. If you media 101, when you having bad press, you go sit the hell down. You don't make the shit louder. And now he's sitting in a jail cell and good. I hope he never get out. Because I believe every single victim, it ain't changing over here. I believe every single victim, and I certainly believe all the victims that Jay-Z, I mean not Jay-Z, I'm sorry, that Diddy has done something to. Because he's who he is. But I'm saying that to say this. I think that's why Jay-Z is all on the internet on his Rock Nation Instagram page or whatever he was on saying shit. It's just like, oh, shut up. But I'm glad he's saying shit because he's again, what do your Miranda rights say? You have the right to remain silent. If you give up that right, but it says everything will be used against you in a court of law. This is what will happen. This is what will happen. So what are we doing? Hey, Mr. Drip from the Drip Show. He said, what's good? Listen, I'm just over here trying to live my best life over here. Cooking upside down pound. What did I say I was cooking? Upside down pineapple upside down cake. It's in the oven. So I need to hurry the hell up. I made one and then I decided to give it to my neighbor because she's taking care of her husband who's in hospice. So I took that over and then I decided to make me one because I really wanted to put on pineapple upside down cake. But that's what I'm doing. Thanks for coming through. Hit the like button if you can. But anyway, I think it's the ego. Ego is not your amigo. And now, because why are you saying something? You sat silently for years as Jaguar Wright dragged you by your dreadlocks all through these YouTube streets. That lady dragged you. She put your edges in her pocket and dragged you all this time. And now you want to speak up? I don't know. I don't know that I would have spoken up, especially if I know my daughter is getting ready to have this big premiere, you know? But I guess he had to. When someone's accusing you of that, you kind of have to. You have to say something. But again, say it through your attorney. Then send cease and desist. Or if you're going to say something, which I would still advise against, but I'm not an attorney. But if you are going to say something, you have a whole ass platform. Say it on your platform. Meaning you, your wife, and whomever else. Because this is the problem. I think Jay-Z is realizing Beyonce ain't going to be able to cover him. Like, Beyonce has a squeaky clean image. She's done no wrong. I'm not saying she's done no wrong because everybody does wrong. But in the eyes of her, what do you call those people? The Beehive and all the people that love her, she ain't gonna do no wrong. And for the most part, I would say she hasn't really done anything publicly that I've seen. But I find that odd, personally. But okay. But it's only so much of that, good fandom is going to go so far for Jay-Z, I feel. But I need, if he wants the water to stop tumbling in, he probably just need to shut the hell up. But I don't think his ego is going to let him. Either that or Beyonce over there screaming like, you need to get your shit together, which is probably both. But anyway, let's finish listening to what Dame has to say.
So now that's going to put distrust into everyone that might have trusted you before. Now, me, I got personal experience with that lawyer. And from my personal experience with the lawyer, he lied a lot. So you got to remember, they charged me with trying to sell the whole reasonable doubt, and that was a lie. And the whole purpose of that was to go illegally change bylaws. And I'm at the meeting where the Shapiro dude is saying that he's there for Jay-Z, and they're saying that he's the CEO, and they're changing bylaws to say I can't sell my interest unless everybody agrees. And that was the only purpose of that lawsuit, to buy time so I couldn't sell it. So I don't care what anybody says. I'm never going to believe that guy, ever. So I don't know that he might be the best person to be speaking for Homeboy on his behalf. But when he said that, I was like, nah, he really fucked up anyone that trusted him, because it's a gray area there. I mean, for the last 10 years, it's hard to say that. And then I was curious how Puff was going to feel about that, But then at the end of the day, I was like, to be honest, I haven't heard Jay say a word. I have not heard his voice. I've heard statements, and, people from when I statements, usually a lawyer writes them and you approve them. That'd be my process. You know what I mean? And then I'll say what I want to say, and then, I'll add what I want to add, but it's usually a collective effort there. But I think because of the way this dude might have put a distrust, because, everybody's like, you can't say they wasn't friends on any level, unless Puff's been lying unless they've been lying the whole time about making themselves look like friends, which would be a lie there, then, I wouldn't have did that one. So I'm like, I think now Homeboy I think he might have to speak on his own. I think we might have to hear his voice. I was doing an interview yesterday with, who are those people we did the interview with? Art of Dialogue. And the dude asked me a lot of questions about Rockefeller and Jay-Z. And I'm like, as I'm answering the question, because I don't mind answering questions. I don't care. You ask me a question, I'll answer it. But I'm like, damn, I have to feel funny about answering questions about my past with Jay, just because of this bot narrative that I'm always talking about Homeboy, even though I'm the only person that was ever truly his partner. And I'm like, why y'all always just ask me? But honestly, it's like he wasn't like trying to be offensive or anything. I wasn't even offended by it. He was genuinely had questions that he wanted to know. But I don't think it's fair that people only hear my side. I don't want to be the only person. And I think the history is rich and people do want to hear about certain things. I don't think it's unfair for someone to ask me questions about Rockefeller, because it was a very interesting time, and there are things that I know and saw that nobody else can say. And I'm a person that doesn't mind speaking, never have. You know, and in this moment, I'm promoting America New. So if there's any attention leveraged on me for anything, I'm taking that to bring in awareness to America New. I mean, like, you know, I'm hustling. Why wouldn't I? That's called motion. Pause. You know? So I just was like, I just feel like I personally wish this dude would do an interview so he can answer all questions, at least so they can hear whatever I'm saying, at least it could be equally sided. You know what I mean? Because I don't be lying, really. I might misremember things because it's been 30 years. I smoke and drink, even though I want to say that I haven't drank in a week and a half, you know? And I don't know. I think it's a big deal to be able to just, and I'm not an alcoholic or nothing. It's just that while I was writing and then we were partying and going out, I was socially drinking, but my life became very social for like 2 weeks straight. And my body felt terrible, and I'm too old, and my body was like, yo, and I got sick and all that. And, you know, I was like, I'm gonna take a December off, you know, and I don't miss it or anything. I wish I could do that with weed. It's hard. But anyway, so I was saying, yeah, I just feel like, you know, like it might not be a good time to have people speaking for homeboy, because they might because I can't imagine that he told him to say that, or like that direct. Like I could see a conversation like, yo, why you say I don't know him? That sounds crazy. And I'd be like, you gotta say that. Like, what else you gonna say? Like, you know, that. But, you know, again, I don't see the strategy. If that was strategy, I don't think that was the right strategy. But as a fan, and people that are curious, because a lot of people are talking about it, I believe that, like, if somebody could really ask him the tough questions, and if he's in an environment that he can't control and people get to really ask him questions, and that transparency, I think, would make his public perception a little better right now. Because right now it ain't about the courts at all. This is all, to me, about the public. And I never, again, seen homeboy care so much about how the public perceives him. I've never seen the public turn on him ever in life. I never thought it could happen. I never thought that it would open so many doors, pause, because now I'm seeing a lot of other shit, you know? And then I'm also wondering, is it like, did they just do this first lawsuit as the jab to open up the doors? Because it just seems like there's a lot of pores, holes, and if, you know, you have to put your finger in every hole, it should start leaking, you know? But there's a lot of questions, and it's hard not to be curious. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's my opinion. Objectively, is I don't want to hear from that lawyer. I would prefer to hear it from homeboy. And as of yet, I haven't heard his voice. He hasn't said anything. To hear he's mad is very different than seeing him mad. To see that he, you know, to hear about how he feels, and also
I think what Dame is kind of saying when he's saying to hear him mad is very different than seeing him mad. I think Dame is like a girlfriend. I hate to say it this way, but he's like, I won't say a girlfriend. He's like a person who's in love with their best friend and is just brokenhearted about it and can't understand how their best friend has gone on, and now they've, you know, married and they've done all these other things, and now you're not with me because we did all this other stuff for so many years. We made all this money, and now I don't even talk to you. I feel like it's kind of like that, like one of those really, you was in love with this person, and then you don't understand why the marriage broke up, and then they only speak to you through their attorney, like, so you don't have no type of, you know, real, like, you can't reach out and touch them no more. It wouldn't matter if you got kids, speak to my attorney, like, I don't speak to you anymore, kind of thing. And I feel like what Dame Dash was really getting at just now when he said that is like, for 20 years, this dude has been doing me dirty. He's been Mariah carrying me. I don't know him. And I feel like Dame Dash really is like, how do you watch me crumble over here? How do you watch me go through all these lawsuits, having to sell this, that, and the third to pay child support? and you and your wife talking about it's $1 billion on the elevator, and you don't know me no more, and you done went on with all these other people, and now you that guy. Like, I helped you build who you are, and now you that guy, and you unbothered, which is why he's like, I never think this would ever happen to him, you know, type of thing. Meaning, I don't think he would have gotten found out, and that he would have lost any type of public, what's the right word? The perception, or lose the public in any way. Like, he's the greatest, and he's this and the third. And I feel like Dame is sitting over there thinking, I want to see what this mofo has to say, because I've been getting bashed anytime I say this man's name about anything. Even when I avoid this man's name, when people interview me, I get bashed over the head with a 2x4. And he never has to respond. And that's why I think he was just saying just now, I want to hear what he got to say. Because he never has had to respond to anything that Dame is doing, because he's above it. He's that guy. He's the greatest, and he's not, in my opinion. If you want to say who's the greatest alive, I'm going to say Eminem. That's what I'm going to say. Because I want somebody to try to battle Eminem. Nobody can see him, in my opinion. I'm sure there's going to be some people in my comments talking about whomever else, but in my opinion, no. Slim Shady got it. And I don't want to battle him. I don't even know why people try to battle him, because he deads people on sight. Anyway, I think that's why Dame Dash is like, you see that little smile he got on his face right now? I think that's what that's about. I think he wants to see how, you know what, I've had to be with my feelings, and, you know, I've had to go through whatever. He probably gonna have some therapy and whatever else. And I've had to do all of these things to work on myself from losing everything. And you didn't call me, and you ain't checked on me, and you don't give a shit about me, because you don't know me anymore, because you and Beyonce are on y'all $12 billion elevator. Now I want to see how you respond to being left out there in the dirt and losing all your money, or having it being sucked out of you or ciphered out of you by attorneys for some shit you ain't even do. People just lying on you, according to Jayz and his lawyers. People just lying on you. I know that's what Dame is thinking when he's saying that. I know that's why Dame had that smile on his face right there. That's just my opinion. Anyway, Carmen says, this is Dame Dash's biggest lick back, right? Exactly. And Jayz did that song, Last One. I never heard of that one. Okay, for Dame. Okay, now I'm gonna have to go listen to Last One by Jayz. Which album is it on, Carmen? I don't know. Now Dame can attempt to make another one like Jayz told him to. Hands down, Slim Shady. I agree. Yeah, Slim got it. Mr. Shady got it over there. Shady Aftermath. He got it. Now he dealing with a woman beater, but I mean, he ain't the woman beater, I hope. I don't know what he may have not done to Kim. Because he did say he was, what he say? He said Haley won't even be at his mama's funeral when he was cleaning out his closet. I was like, damn, that's what you got to say about your mama. But his mama did. In all fairness, did allegedly, according to him, according to Mr. Shady himself, she did like have Munchausen syndrome by proxy, which is basically you need attention or want money or something. And so you feign illness for your child or some other person that you're caring for. That's what Shady was making when he said cleaning out my closet. That's what he was talking about when he was talking about his mom. But anyway, back to Dame. I think Dame I think he want to see. He want to see what the fuck Jayz has to say. I think that's why he on his show on his YouTube saying, I think he should say something. Now be clear. The first time Dame had something to say about this, when this first was coming out, after the Piers Morgan interview with Jaguar Wright, Dame said, I don't see how he's not going to have some sort of litigation happen. That's what Dame said. Now, up until that point, Jayz had said he had been radio silent like the rest of Hollywood and the sports industry and the music industry and everybody in the entertainment industry. Jayz had been radio silent. The day, I think it was the day after, or maybe 2 or 3 days after this interview, not this interview, the one I'm telling you about, their Dame Dash was like low key saying, well, you know, everything Jaguar Wright is saying, I mean, some of it is true. You know, I'm not saying everything is true, but I mean, she's been right about a lot, which, oh my God, that's the last person you really want to get credibility to. But he's right. There's a lot of shit that lady has said that's been accurate, but she can be, she's a conspiracy theorist of sorts, but there's a lot that she said that is accurate. You can't deny it. Whatever she said about Diddy, to me, all of it, I believe. But she hates Jay-Z for some reason. I don't know what it is. That lady can't stand Jay-Z. I don't know what he did to her, but she certainly wants to get her lick back. and I don't know. Maybe she got it. I'm not really sure. But to me, she comes across as being she is the epitome of the boy who cried wolf. So it's like some of the shit, the wolf is really there. The wolf is there. And he is probably very problematic. But he ain't there every single time. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't trust every single thing she says. But some of the stuff she's saying is true. And I think when I saw Jay-Z have his attorney put out that statement and then go on TMZ and do all of that, I was like, Jay-Z must have heard name, because that's the first time he ever responded. And he didn't respond quietly. It was Jay-Z and Beyonce said, Piers Morgan, take that shit down and apologize. And I'm just kind of like, so this is the thing. We had a freedom of speech in America. They do not have the freedom of speech in England or wherever it is that Piers Morgan is. But I wonder why Piers Morgan, after this lawsuit came up, didn't cover it. If he did cover it, please drop the link. I didn't see him covering what Jay-Z is being accused of now, because that would be my way back in. I'd be like, wait. So a month ago, when I did this Jaguar Wright thing, y'all forced me to apologize because y'all said that it's lies. But now other people are nosing around and saying, Jay-Z did some stuff. We have some proof. Now after this, I'm gonna have to go online. I need to go see if he didn't say one thing, because a lot of people wall to wall have been talking about Jay-Z, whether or not it's true or not. And I did a video the other day basically saying, how is your attorney up here talking about you don't know, you're just colleagues? Like, what do you mean? No. You're not just colleagues when you having this person at your home and he's having you at his, and you sit in a car with a TV show host talking about the only person can call you Sean outside of your mama is this dude. You ain't smashing with him, so I don't understand why this is the only dude on planet Earth or the only person that can call you Sean. That to me intimates you're a little bit closer than what just colleagues. Just saying. But I think that was like, that gave the internet just stuff for days. It's like, let's call bullshit. Like, I just don't even understand why his attorney said that. I do understand it in a sense because he wants to distance himself. That's the goal. But that ain't the way to do it. To say this man is just a colleague, knock it off. You can say that Jay-Z and Bruce Springsteen are just industry colleagues. You could say that Jay-Z and maybe T-Pain are just industry colleagues, but you can't say that about him and Diddy. And if you wanted to, why wouldn't you have said this same shit when he was beating the hell out of Cassie in the hallway? Why not distance him then? When you saw the bricks crumbling, because you don't give a shit. Be clear. You just there to drain Jay's pockets and everybody else's pockets, Elon Musk and whomever else. But anyway, let's finish listening to this, and then I'm not gonna play this whole man's video, so because y'all can go and check it out. But let's listen to what he has to say.
It's the way it's written is very authoritarian to me, like very, very Rothschild. You know what I'm saying? It's very I was talking to Tiny, she was like, it sounds British. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you could also see what someone thinks about themselves when they're accused of stuff like, how dare thou ever accuse thou of, you know what I'm saying? And, it kind of, but that's always the way he's rapped. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this ain't no record though. This ain't no song. This is real life now. And I also look at, like, a lot of the people that have gone against me, again, I've read the 48 Laws of Power, and the only reason why is so that I know what people are using. To me, it's a funky book, and it's a way to me to cheat, but there was no social media when the 48 Laws of Power was written. So you might have to change that shit up. Like all of this, don't speak and be heard about and just appear every now and again. That shit there, there was no internet. You know what I'm saying? It was different. There was no algorithms back then. So the world has changed significantly. And I'm telling these people that cheat just so they can make the game a little better. I'd probably have to update that 48 Laws of Power thing. You have to, you have to now factor that there's an internet and that the common person actually can be heard repetitively over and over again till it becomes an algorithm, So I had forgot my point with the lawyer and the fact that he can pay for his own lawsuits because he's doing it himself. But I just saw that, they just had put a lawsuit on Rock Nation. And the stuff that they were accusing them of is, if they're guilty of that, that's not going to be a good look. But, again, my experience with them is they do go hard. My question is, why are they going so hard? Pause. You know what I'm saying? It's just, again, I would just let this thing play out in court. But it is what it is. And last week, I couldn't remember what I had done 2000 because I hadn't tried but so much. But, people definitely made sure I knew where I was at. And then I remembered it triggered memories. I was with Aaliyah. And I remember, I think that year we decided we went to the awards and we broke right out. We didn't want to be around nobody. So I really I know where I was at. You know what I'm saying? And again, I think it's easy for someone to just say where they were at, like where you were actually after and you weren't around homeboy, you should be good. It should be fairly simple. There's.
Can I just say that shots fired? Did y'all just hear what he just basically said, Jay, I remember what I was with Aaliyah after some award show. That was 20 something years ago. Aaliyah died when I was like 21 or 20, I believe, something like that. And Dame is saying, well, I know where I wasn't. I know I wasn't at that thing. And I'm like, oh my God, that shot's fired. He just told Jayz, nah, Ninja, nah. You need to just say, nah, I wasn't there. And that's the thing. But oh my God, it's like, how many ways can I say? Just shut the hell up. But he can't say that. He can't do that because Jay-Z is involved in some shit, in my opinion. And that's all it is, my opinion, because I don't know none of these people. But in my opinion, he's involved with shit. You can't be, in my opinion, that close to someone who is such a nefarious character like Diddy and not have some nefariety going on with your ass. I'm just saying. That's why they say birds of a feather flock together. And I'm not saying it'd be different if Jay-Z was Diddy's brother or Diddy's artist or something like that, Diddy's dad. But no, this is a person you are intentionally choosing to be around and have in your life. That's what you were intending to do. So now this attempt to act like, oh, no. We just met he came to our Rock Nation brunch. And, our kids knew each other just because of the industry. Nah, bruh. That's not the way to distance yourself. You should have distanced yourself a long time ago. But I think he couldn't do it. And he better tread lightly with everything that he's saying now because, like I said, they're going to use everything against him in a court of law. But Dame Dash just told this dude. Listen. Dame Dash said, I know where I was. You can't just come out. This is what Dame Dash just told him. You can't just come out and just say, you wasn't there with that girl doing that thing. Another person that went to Epstein Island allegedly, what's his name? Bill Clinton. He said, when he was the president, I never did. I never had sexual relations with that lady. I never did. And we see where that got him. Elected again. Let me stop. No, but it's just kind of like, oh, Dame Dash just told us, man, just tell these people that you wasn't there. Dame Dash said, I know where I was. Whew. That's that backhanded shade. Oh my God. Shots fired. I caught it, Dave. I caught it, Dame. You didn't get past me. I caught it. Let me go back. Let's listen to it one more time. Maybe I didn't hear it right.
But then we broke right out. We didn't want to be around nobody. So why are they going so hard? Pause. You know what I'm saying? It's just, again, I would just let this thing play out in court. But it is what it is. And last week I couldn't remember what I had done 2000 because I hadn't tried but so much. But, you know, people definitely made sure I knew where I was at. And then I remember the triggered memories. I was with Aaliyah. And I remember, I think that year we decided we went to the awards and we broke right out. We didn't want to be around nobody. So I really have, I know where I was at. You know what I'm saying? And again, I think it's easy for someone to just say where they were at it, like where you were actually at after the, and you weren't around homeboy, you should be good. It should be fairly simple. You know, there is no gray areas. There's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Period. But again, these two lawyers are going to be banging out. But the difference is going to be every time one homeboy's lawyer works, homeboy got to pay. When this lawyer does his thing, he's paying himself. And he seems like I said, he's with the shits. So for every action, I know there's going to be a reaction. This is like a Jake Paul fight, regardless of whether they're good fighters or not. You're still going to watch. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be watching this fight, and I'm really curious to see which lawyers play the best chess. But at this point, it's chess. And as of right now, it seems like a lot of things are being played out in the public. So that just means that's all everyone cares about is public perception.
Mm-hmm.
And the question then would be, why are you so worried about the public? Like, since when do you care about what people think? If you know the truth, and I know me, like if someone says some bullshit and I know the truth, I'm like, yo, I'm speaking on it. You know? And, you know, if it's affecting my life financially, if it's fucking with my corporate sponsorship, then I know that I have a lawsuit. So I'll get that right back. Not a problem. So we'll see what happens. But I wanted to, you know, that was my take on it. You know what I'm saying? I don't got a dog in this fight. I see my name come up a lot, my pictures and shit, especially when it comes to Aaliyah and all that. And it does trigger a lot of bullshit memories and all that. But, you know, I'm focused on what I'm doing. But when I take the time to analyze certain things, this is what I think.
Well, there y'all guys have it. Like I said, go listen to him on his channel. Go support his channel. Hit the like button on my channel if you like the content that you are consuming. Please hit the notification button and hit the what's the other button? The like button. Oh, subscribe button. It's a free and easy way to support my channel. But thank you guys for tuning into another episode of Chanel's Reality. I'm Chanel, and this is my reality. I'm about to go eat some of this good old upside down upside down pineapple cake that I made. It's gonna be so good. Talk to you guys later. Y'all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. If I'm not back on here by then. Bye.